If your relationship with your supplier is 100% digital and transactional, and AI can replace you with a cheaper or faster or better alternative in a millisecond. We were told that AI would free us. Instead, maybe AI has eaten up your business and you must reorganize your business model to add value to your leads.
Creating, reorganize, creating, reorganize, creating, reorganize, creating, reorganize.
Dear Creating Reorganizer, welcome back to Creating Reorganized. This is episode 24. We are concluding season 3, and I'm so glad that you are taking your time to spend it with me so that you can create a marketing and sales system that works 24/7, 365 for you so that you can avoid burnout. How does that sound? So just in case you are new here, my name is Soei-Winkels, and if you are an established small business owner, you likely feel the weight of 26 pressing down on you. And the promise of the automated business has, for many, turned into the reality of the isolated business. We were told that AI would free us. Looking at my household here, I'm saying when, Instead, maybe AI has eaten up your business and you must reorganize your business model to add value to your leads. If so, please listen to our previous episodes on developing and also testing new business ideas in episodes 12 and 21 as linked in the show notes. And maybe AI just has increased the volume of the noise. So we are surrounded by digital ghosts, AI avatars, automated LinkedIn and email cold reach outs, which are horrible. And personalized emails feel that now they have been written by a blender or a mixer. They all sound the same. So in this episode, we are moving away from the island. We are talking about building an ecosystem that is not just a technical ecosystem, but also has social components. So not just a customer list, but a strategic network. So imagine a reality where your most important suppliers treat you like a very important person. And your dream clients spend 45 minutes or so listening to your voice on their podcast players before they ever see your proposal. And that is the power of the relationship application programming interface. That is a mouthful, I know. So one of the components is the personal connection. Okay, so I know a thing or two about building networks from scratch. And I'm an introverted networker. If you want my experience on that, I will link to also another episode that I did for the Post-Doc Transformation Show. But essentially, I had to learn the interfaces between the German culture outside of my Indonesian family, school versus job versus home and family language, and eventually the rigorous interfaces between German academia and corporate IT. So you all probably know that I'm academically gifted and I earned my PhD at the International Graduate School of Neuroscience in Bochum, Germany. All my achievements weren't just because I worked hard. It was because I understood how to code switch and to navigate the politics between interdisciplinary systems. So when I moved into the corporate world at Aldi South and later Accenture, I saw that the most successful leaders weren't the ones with the most technical knowledge. Instead, they were the ones who could connect the technical infrastructure to the human reality of the business units. Okay? So without the workforce's buy-in, new technology won't be applied and rolled out. It's just crickets. And this episode is the culmination of my professional journey. Because this is the final episode of season 3, I allow myself to include more than just one psychological model, theory, or concept. I know that I promised you to do that, and I hope that you have acknowledged and appreciate that I have been shorter in my previous episodes. And I hope that you don't mind that I will now return to maybe 2 or 3. Please do let me know in the comments by commenting just 1 or more so I know what you think about that for season 4. All right, so let's start with a psychological concept, one of my favorites, self-efficacy theory according to Bandura, 1977. So before we dive into the how, we must address the mindset. Albert Bandura's self-efficacy theory suggests that your success isn't just based on your skills, but rather on your belief in your ability to exert control over your environment. So in a world of AI invisibility, many founders are losing their self-efficacy. They feel like the algorithm is in control. But by building a strategic network through video podcasting, we are telling the story on our terms. So we are reclaiming that agency. We are deciding who enters our inner circle. And IT strategy, AI, and automation, they all may lead to an efficiency obsession, okay? But even if we run faster in one direction, that can be that we are running into the wrong direction, okay? In our quest to save time, and I personally have to say that is the resource that I value most, we have accidentally optimized the human out of our business. And we treat suppliers maybe like vending machines. We put money in and we expect a service out. We treat clients like data points in a customer relationship management system. But here's the danger. That's transactional leadership, and transactions are replaceable. Transformational leadership and human connection are not. If your relationship with your supplier is 100% digital and transactional, an AI can replace you with a cheaper or faster or better alternative in a millisecond. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. After this short salute to our sponsors, we now return to our inspiring episode. If your relationship with your supplier is 100% digital and transactional, an AI can replace you with a cheaper or faster or better alternative in a millisecond. If your client only sees your price tag and not your brand voice, you are a commodity. I see this often in my coaching and in my listeners. You are tired picking up the kids, managing a team, trying to stay relevant. And you'll feel like you have to do everything yourself because your network is just a list of people you pay or who pay you, and you cannot rely on them. There is no buffer. This is what I call the transactional tax. You pay every time. You have to fight for a lead or haggle over a price because there is no underlying trust. And Pierre Bourdieu defines social capital as the aggregate of the actual or potential resources which are linked to possession of a durable network. And again, that was a mouthful. So in business terms, when a crisis hits, like the shipping delays I managed back in my IT analyst days, social capital is what keeps the lights on. It's the supplier who moves your order to the front of the line because they like you. It's the client who waits for your delivery because they trust your vision. Without a video podcast to build this capital 24/7, 365, you are bankrupting your future resilience. Because when you're consistently putting out your video podcasts as expected and in high quality and better than expected, then you are paying it forward. So let me take you back to my time as an IT strategy consultant at Accenture. We were working on massive workforce transformations. And these were billion-euro companies trying to move into the future. The developers were brilliant. They could code the interfaces between legacy systems and new cloud architectures perfectly. I mean, that was 2012. Cloud was a new concept. So on paper, the IT was flawless. But these transformations or the mergers and acquisitions would always collapse because the human interface was broken. The human workforce did not buy in. They did not believe the vision. The people on the business side, the managers, the staff, the stakeholders were overlooked. When the managers on both sides did the due diligence, they always looked at the tech, but it's always the human side goes havoc. They weren't trained, they weren't engaged, and to be honest, treated badly by management. And the lesson I learned in the trenches of corporate Germany is the same lesson I want to give you today as a business owner. The system underneath is rarely the problem. It's always the human interface. Your video podcast is the human interface for your business brand. It is how you onboard your network into your vision. So let me introduce another psychological concept. That is the cognitive load theory according to Soei-Winkels, 88. So why does a video podcast work as the human interface? Because of cognitive load. When you send a cold email or a long white paper, you are putting a massive cognitive load on your prospect. I mean, I don't have time to figure out why you are suddenly, out of the blue, emailing me, sending me a DM, asking me for giving you a business. I don't know whether you are a good fit, just don't know. So leads who have to read, interpret, and imagine why a service would help, I don't know, I haven't found that dream lead, let me know. But when you are paying it forward with your business promotion video podcast, you can send a lead a link to your podcast, and then they can watch it. And if they are really invested and want to solve the problem with you, they will have listened to your podcast. So then they are informed, right? For example, my German accent, my Asian face, my academic rigor, the cognitive load drops because I already tell them how I can serve them. So when I offer something to them, they get me instantly. You must make it easy for them, for their brains, to trust you. You are coding a low-friction interface with your business promotion video podcast. And again, repetition is key here. Not all of your leads are intently listening to all episodes. Maybe your fans are, but your leads usually don't have enough time. But the mere fact that you have so many episodes to choose from so that they can get help immediately is a quality signal, a costly signal, okay? So we need a plan to build your relationship application programming interface. An API, or the application programming interface, allows two systems to talk to each other, okay? So this way, it is ensured that data from the one system goes to the other system in certain ways so that both systems know which data to exchange so that the next system can work on that data that was previously coming from the other one. Okay? So your podcast is your relationship API. But you don't connect your system to every random app on the store, right? That would be data overflow. You choose the strategic ones. And also just the strategic data from your strategic systems. Before we continue, we want to appreciate those who finance this valuable episode for you. Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. Your podcast is your relationship API. But you don't connect your system to every random app on the store, right? That would be data overflow. You choose the strategic ones and also just the strategic data from your strategic systems. Step number 1 is stop thinking about listeners and start thinking about notes. Who are the 10 suppliers and 20 dream clients who, if they were in your inner circle, would change your business forever? Those are your guests. Step 2 is the pivot. I have to be vulnerable with you here. I am a professor. I love teaching. And naturally, I thought teaching you how to create a business promotion video podcast via my Creating Reorganized show would suffice. But then I talked to my leads over lunch, and those were established business owners like you. They were all busy. And they said something that stopped me in my tracks. They said, I am impressed and I want what you have. Where's the shortcut? Because I don't have time to listen to all of your episodes. I just want it to be done. Can you do this for me? They didn't want the information. They wanted the implementation. They wanted the premium white label service. This was a massive insight for me. If I stayed in the do-it-yourself lane, and I have that because I have more affiliate links in every episode. But essentially, if I would not offer this white label done-for-you podcasting service, I would have missed clients who were willing to pay for a premium. And we use Typeform to filter for these premium needs because there aren't that many, but also I'm very limited in my time. So if you only want the cheap do-it-yourself version, you can input all my podcast episodes, show notes into an AI like Notebook LM and talk to it so that you can build your own business promotion video podcast, of course, preferably with my tech stack recommendations. That way you would pay me back the time and effort that I've invested in this show. But I'm very happy if you could do your own business promotion video podcast without, and again, to be transparent, I want to earn the small commission if you buy their services using my affiliate link. You are also welcome to ask me all your questions regarding your business promotion video podcast via my Creating Reorganized newsletter and also form as linked in the show notes. And this way, you save me research time, because now I'm allowed to answer real and relevant questions in my show. I honor you and also myself, so my time is too rare. Your time is too rare as well. I use this business promotion video podcast to filter for my cherry-pick premium done-for-you solution. So back to you. When you have a guest on your show, you are giving them the ultimate gift, a platform. You are using Descript to edit them so they look like a rock star, cutting out the ums and the ums, the filler words, and making them shine. And this triggers the principle of reciprocity, according to Cialdini. So when you treat a supplier like a partner, they will notice. And I have openly and authentically praised Podbean for years. Since I started my journey as a podcaster, Podbean has been by my side. I have researched and compared their services, among others. And there are certain tech requirements. I don't go into that, but honestly, I have vetted my podcast hosting and monetizing platform. So when I praised them, I didn't do it because I wanted a favor. I did it because their global multi-channel distribution is the backbone of my business. And guess what? Out of the blue, because of that relationship, Podbean featured me on their playlist. And then later on, Podbean chose me to be their season 1, episode 1 client testimonial for their new show, Podbean Amplified. I mentioned that also in a previous episode. I thought, is this legit? I don't know. This feels like scam. And it wasn't. Think about that. My supplier became my marketer. So we're growing together. This is a strategic network in action. You can see the video on the YouTube channel. I am the first podcast that they have chosen. I mean, there are bigger ones. There are more known ones. I'm not in the US. It's like, why me? And I'm so happy about that. So it's the human interface in full effect. I will link to that in the show notes. Hopefully you watch it and give that video a little boost because I'm so proud of that. I even shared that with my family and they didn't know that I have a podcast or let alone 2 podcasts. So now let's talk about the code that runs a human interface. We don't use tools to replace humans. We use them to protect our time so we can be human. And honestly, someone on LinkedIn asked me how this automation has improved my workflows. And I answered that automation and AI has changed my life because now I can do sports every day because I've saved so much time. And I also can enjoy my time with my family even more without rushing because I'm always so scarce on time and resources. But now it's very easy to podcast, and with strategy, you can achieve so much more than 1 or 2 or 3 years ago. All right, so let's talk about Podbean. They are my server. You need a server that runs quietly in the background reliably. So I chose them because as an IT strategist, I need reliability and data. Their analytics allow me to see exactly which nodes in my strategic network are listening. It's not just about the downloads. It's about retention rates week by week, from season to season. It's listener growth, it's comments, engagements, so everything, not just the downloads. It's about strategic reach. And then we need to talk about Descript. And this is my favorite editor. In 26, you don't have time to edit frame by frame by audio waves. I don't know. So why don't you use Descript's AI to scale your presence into multiple languages and clean up your human interface? It's professional, but still authentic, right? So I can toggle off studio sound, and it sounds bad without it. But with it, it's like in a studio. And I do have studio experience, okay? So I went into the studio to record all my previous episodes in season 1 of the Post-Doc Transformation Show, but I honestly did not have time for that because it's such a logistics hassle. So it's good enough for me. And now we talk about the quiet sales machine, and you probably recall it. I have already introduced that to you, Active Campaign and Typeform. So these are our gatekeepers. We use Typeform to vet guests and clients, and Active Campaign to nurture the relationship after the podcast episode is over. So my strategic network requires following up, of course. And automation ensures that no one falls through the cracks while I'm at university or with my kids. And my students even have asked me, so how come you are so active on social media? But we know that you are spending days with us on Mondays and Tuesdays, and on the other days you are also here teaching, and also in the evenings. That is because I automate my scheduling. It's my content, yes, it's my face and my brand and my voice, yes, but it's not me publishing that. I used tech for that. And the tech that I use for that is metrical. So this is my multiplier and dashboard. It tells me our multi-social media hub and spoke system is actually working. So if our LinkedIn engagement is high, but our Pinterest is low, we reorganize. We don't guess. We use data. And I hope that you do too. So if you're listening to this and say, wow, this is a lot, you realize that your human interface with your leads is crashing and you are drowning in do-it-yourself, but your return on investment is flat, well, we need to talk. I offer a premium white label service, and my team and I take your expertise and experience and turn it into a 24/7, 365 sales engine. We handle the strategy, the production, and the networking. But here's the catch. I am still a professor. I'm still a mom. I love my kids. So I only work with a few hand-picked clients each season, and we look for high-touch business owners who are ready to build a real ecosystem, okay? Who already have clients, who want more clients. If that sounds something for you, go to the link in my show notes, fill out the type form. If we are a match, we will build a human interface that makes your business un-AIable. If not, you can still learn from me in every episode of the Creating Reorganized show, and please subscribe on your favorite podcast player so that you don't miss our season 4. All right, now let's talk about what happens if you don't set up your business promotion video podcast because you think it's too much work and you don't want to pay for that. It sounds great, maybe in, I don't know, a couple of months. Well, you continue to compete with the AI bots on price and volume, and you continue to be a transaction, and eventually the transaction ends. But if you build this strategic network, your return on investment isn't just money, it's time. The reason I have optimized the system is so that at 1 or 2 p.m., I can leave my computer and let AI work for me. Just today, I have a time window, a time pocket that came surprisingly, okay? But I picked up my kid at 1 o'clock, and we had enough time to go shopping that she wanted to do with her friend, and I waited at the parking lot for an hour because my cute kid wants to spend some time there going shopping. Okay, so no rush. That's fine. I can pick up my kids, and I'm really proud of the following. As someone who is middle-aged, you all know that core gymnastics is maybe a new concept for someone in the 20s, but should be done for everyone middle-aged. Because to be honest, as someone who is always working at a computer or just doing very few sports, that is a high risk. And every risk is also a risk for your business, not just for your life. So with all the AI and automation tools that I have stacked together as Creating Reorganized, I can now be the professor, the coach, and the mom I want to be because my strategic network and my video podcasts are working while I am living according to my vision of life. And that is my supply chain of success. Let's start Creating Reorganized for your business. Go listen to all the previous episodes, and maybe you now have questions, which you can obviously let me know via the Creating Reorganized newsletter. I'm Professor Dr. Soei-Winkels, and I thank you so much for all your attention. Until season 4, we will share daily social clips of our previous episodes to encourage you to start and keep creating reorganized according to your vision of life. Exactly. So please use our Q&A form in the show notes to co-create future episodes. Thank you. Hi, this is Eleanor's AI editor within Descript announcing a Creating Reorganized Season 3 party. Eleanor came up with the Season 3 party idea after recording, and now looking at our Podbean statistics, we know most Creating Reorganizers tune in from Germany, USA, and that is from East to West Coast, Canada, and Singapore. So, Eleanor wants to celebrate with you in multiple free online events with Amazon gift vouchers to win. Every Creating Reorganizer around the globe is invited, so we will accommodate you in multiple time zones, and you can find all Eventbrite events as linked in the show notes. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, share it with your business friends, and leave a review on your favorite podcast player. Your feedback helps me as a small business owner to serve more small business owners for free, so thank you. I'm your host, Professor Dr. Soei-Winkels, and now I wish you a happy Creating Reorganized according to your vision of life.